Headlines from around the world and back again. This is the news. Cyberpunk 2077 is back, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. Woo.
Get it. Get it while you can.
Get it unless you have a base PS4, because everyone involved, this must have been some language that I feel like CD Projekt Red and Sony must have agreed upon, because both of them on Twitter were like, we don't think you should play this on a base PS4. We suggest you have a PS4 Pro or a PS5.
Wow.
Which is like kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Because if you can still buy it. According to Kotaku, who put some of that through his paces, I guess it is on base PS4s, it is not consistently hitting 30 frames per second. It was off the store for like half a year.
Yeah.
You know, it's damn near July.
Kind of just took a lot of pedestrians and cars out of that base version to make it run at all, is what I heard. I haven't checked it out myself, but
they took Keanu out just to make it run.
It's just the gold bar now, man. He was overheating.
It's just his floating hand. Is that what you said, Jan?
Yeah. Yeah. So that was a real, God, remember that? What a real mess that was. It really felt like that maybe CD Projekt Red kind of threw Sony under the bus, and Sony seemingly had the response of like, oh yeah? So check this out. How about we don't sell your game for 6 months? See how that does.
Check this out. Poof.
Yeah. That seems like how that went.
I've been considering picking that up on PC, but I think it probably needs... I heard the PC version, if you have a 3080, is mostly fine, but I'm still thinking probably I'll come back next year or never. So more likely, as part of my cavalcade of games to try with a 3090, now that I have a 3090, I reinstalled Cyberpunk and turned it all the way up and ran it, and I don't. That game doesn't look great. I still don't think that game looks great, even with everything turned on and turned up and all that sort of stuff. There's just something about, but also, they, like there's stuff like where you're spawning your motorcycle and it like spawns inside or like rams into and appears inside of another NPC vehicle, and you're like, what, like that. So I played like half an hour of it and went around and did some side quests and stuff that, that I didn't do. It was my old save from when I finished the game. And was like, hey, this still is funky in just enough ways that you're like, this still needs work. This is still not what it needs to be. And
I tried to.
That's the PC version.
Yeah, I played that game on a 3080. I tried going back maybe like 2 months ago, and I just could not muster enough momentum. I think the novelty, the honeymoon for me, wore off real quick. So it is just, I don't know. I think it's just a thing I'm probably not going to touch again. But Rory, go for it. Rory, just dive right in, dude.
We should,
It's, it's not like a terrible game, and it almost certainly has to be better than it was. And now they've got if you look at PSN, if you look at the Sony store, they have that language there right on the store info page. Important notice: users continue to experience performance issues with this game. Purchase for use on PS4 systems is not recommended. For the best Cyberpunk experience on PlayStation, on PS4 Pro and PS5. Yeah, pretty dire. That we're this far past launch and they still have to like say that.
Yeah. Somebody pointed out that you can play GTA 5 on a 360 if you want to. That game was with development for 360, but somehow for Cyberpunk's lengthy development process, can't even run on the console that was the mainstream console for most of the development process of that game. It's kind of stunning that this is still an issue, but
I don't know. I mean, because it's not really a GTA, it's more of a Fallout. It's more of like that style of game, but in a city with cars and stuff instead of not, but it feels like it like maybe that's just a better comparison point. In terms of just like, hey, you've got quests that can go a number of different ways, and this one went wrong here, and this one wrong here, and just a lot of
places where the game can break, and it broke in a lot of them. So I don't know. They still have patches planned. They're still chipping away at it, I guess, but it's just. I wonder if getting back onto, I guess like the next push is like when they get the native PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X versions out, presumably that would be the time when they try to get behind it again and maybe try to market it again and maybe try to put some of this stuff behind them. But with this having been like, here we are 6 months later, still talking about the ways in which the game continues to be broken and how they have multiple patches planned and all this other stuff. Like that stink has to linger. I don't think they'll be able to successfully push it out on new consoles and make people forget about everything that's happened since then. This is it's a damn near unprecedented situation. It's really fucking crazy.
Yeah.